our dear friend Jeff Passan
Yes.
published an article today that is so long. The main thing that I think you can take away from it is there is a plan to make a plan. Their plan is that all of May, the entire month, they're going to figure out the plan. Until that happens, which is like 4 days left of April, they ain't even going to talk about it.
I think there was a quote from Manfred that was like, "We will play baseball this year," and it's like, again, we're kind of not in control of things, so you don't have to put those words in my head until it's happening. It is good to hear because I think there are solutions, but there's one or two things that could get in the way, and this thing gets ugly quick. But it is good to hear that it seems like everyone participating does seem driven to actually play baseball because we've heard some different theories that hey, maybe the owners, if the owners aren't going to get their bang for their buck, they don't want to necessarily pay these guys. There's a lot of players out there that when that initial Arizona plan came out, they didn't want to exile their families. And I think this was a good step in being like, there will be something. And I think at the end of this, we'll talk about, and Basan said it's his only thing, but it's kind of what you've been talking about this whole time, kind of a round robin. I think he called it a World Cup format, which I think you exhaust every option to try to get a season. Because if you do that, I think MLB is going to try to BS it and be like World Series champ still. And like people are just not going to lean into that, which I don't like. But at the same time, hey, we want to see baseball.
Their biggest dream is that they can start up in July. They can have a bunch of different sites where teams are hosted, and you get a semblance of an 80 to 100 game season, push the playoffs to November at neutral sites in domes, and it's somewhat normal. So according to Passan, that's still on the table, and that's what everyone wants to do. But that's still like best of the best case. So I can't act like that's going to be real just for my own brain.
And that's what was ridiculous about the Arizona plan, was that we essentially were going to make a biodome with thousands and thousands of people, where if we do this in 5 individual cities, we kind of won't need to collapse a city. It's easier to house everyone and do something like that. But again, do I know that's in July? No. Do I know if they can do stuff in June? No. Will they be able to play a certain amount of games? What does it look like? Still no idea on that. But I think there's something there that the people have made sense of.
The worst case is this world classic type tournament, round robin tournament, and it sounds fun. The quote in the article that Passan wrote was, some executive said, "Give us 60 days and we'll put on a hell of a tournament."
Yeah.
With all these problems. And that's the fine line, Jake, because those are the middle ground in between those options is really weird. Either it's 80 to 100 games and you have a normal semblance of baseball and a season with series and you're playing enough other teams and all that, especially if they can hot swap hubs out, like, okay, you guys are going there, you guys are going there, and then we'll do it again. That, the winner, sure, World Series champion. The World Cup situation clearly should be a different name. Like, I agree with you that MLB will try to just call it the World Series champion, but the whole world won't consider him that. And it'll be something different. The middle ground, doesn't exist in my brain. I can't figure that out. If they do the World Cup situation, Jake, and it's round robin, would you want it to be by division? If it got funky, would you want the Yankees to be against a bunch of shit teams?
I'm going to go in a typical Jake move, and give me either end of the deep end. Give me, we're going to do an AL East thing, and everything kind of makes sense. Okay, we're going to basically do each division in a dome, and we'll see how it plays off. You advance, blah, blah, blah. There's some logic there. Or let's go full World Cup. Give me a group of death, Give me Yankees, Braves, Red Sox, Dodgers in the same group, and only two are coming out. Like if we're gonna World Cup it, like I guess I'm either give me something that makes a lot of sense in my brain, or give me the George Costanza. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
The way that Passan has it is 6 hubs, 4-game series within each hub, and the top 2 records advance. So give me the Yankees, one other good team, and then a middling team, and then the rest shit.